By William Hill. This is the 40th year, so it's a very special night. As you know, the legendary Bob Cass helped found this event. I'm delighted that his wife Janet and some of the family are here this evening. He loved this night, and I know he'll be absolutely chuffed to bits that it's reached its 40th year. And with that in mind, I'd like to start with a few thanks. Thank you again to the Ramside Hall and John Adamson for their continued support in hosting this event. Claire Stephen for her industry and organisation here at the Ramside. The dedication of Colin Young, who year after year keeps going, despite year after year, vowing it'll be his last. And of course, all of our football clubs, and indeed our sponsors, William Hill. But above all, I'd like to thank you for your continued support, especially when we had to rearrange this at short notice. And because of you, this night remains a highlight in the North East footballing calendar. I'd like to welcome Carrie Brown, Chair of the Football Writers Association, to say grace.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to celebrate the North East's moment of brilliant and the North East's great, let's also take a rare moment of pause, of which there have been a few of late, to be grateful for the game we love and breathe, and the food soon before us on our plates. Amen.
As well, thank you very much for your generosity. I know you've all been putting the £10 in the envelopes again for the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation, and also compliments to the kitchen as well, because I'm sure you'll agree it was a fabulous meal, so thank you. North East Chairman Colin Young to the stage. Colin.
As Ian has already said, thank you very much all of you for coming this evening. It means a lot to the football writers and to myself to see this room filled up as ever. And just a bit of housekeeping, if I may. I know Ian said a few thank yous, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't do the same, which was to John and Claire from the Ramside as ever for looking after us, and for all the staff and managers. And I think you'll agree, as is usually the case when we come here, the meal has just been absolutely fantastic, and a real, yeah, it's brilliant. Also, it wouldn't be possible to put a night like this on without the backing of our National Association, the Football Writers Association. I really appreciate every year the fact that they just let us run with this event as best we can. Carrie Brown's our new chair, and she's certainly been tested this week in terms of the North East Football Writers' fairly laid-back approach to some aspects of this evening, and also the fact that basically I have absolutely no technical ability whatsoever. So that has definitely been tested this week. And also to our sponsors, William Hill. Again, this really wouldn't be possible if it weren't for their support and sponsorship. And I'd also like to give special mention to a fellow called Kalki Mansai, who has put together the glass prizes, which I think you'll agree are worth that extra bit of effort in the William Hill colours, and they just look absolutely superb. Kalki's from the Sunderland Glass Centre, and one of the best things that we've done in terms of this dinner is to sort of that partnership between ourselves and the Glass Centre. Thanks also to Nathan Clark and James Craggs and Kevin Clift, who've helped us put together the various films, and Carrie as well, and our friends from the BBC who've more than done their bit. And as ever, thank you to Dave Hewson, who's somewhere over there. The programme that we put together takes a lot of work, a few early hours of the morning jobs, but Dave does a fantastic job, and I think you'll agree that you've got a product there to take home tonight, which is a great read. I promise you there's some really good stuff in it. Although, if the football writers can't put together a decent product like that, then we really are struggling. Having said that, I have to say, it is absolutely brilliant that for the first time I can remember, we've actually got a double table of journalists in. And I know Ian's done the hellos to the many players in the room, but it's really great for me personally, after all these years, to see a new generation of football writers in the room. Won't get you all, but the likes of Miles Starforth, Phil Smith, Jordan Cronin, Mark Donnelly, Scott Wilson of the Northern Echo, Paul Fraser, Dom Shaw. They've all contributed to this magazine, as has Mr. Doug Weatherall, who's somewhere out there, as he always is. Looking very well for his 135 years, to be fair to him. Always great to see him with his guests. I know Jim's here as well. Unfortunately, David Dent was put off by the weather over in Cumbria, so couldn't make it. He's another regular attendee of the dinner, so I'm sorry he's not here. But Doug has also contributed to the magazine. In fact, I think he wrote his copy the night after last year's dinner, if I'm not mistaken. It was there that quickly. But it's a lovely read, Doug, and again, thank you very much for doing that. In July 1996, when some bloke called Shearer also, I believe, joined Newcastle in the same month, but don't know what happened to him. One fellow who obviously did take me under his wing and really helped me was Bob Cass. And with due respect, Steph, Fabian, Sean, nice of you to make it, son. Catherine, and the other winners here, Borley. The real guest of honour tonight is Janet Cass, Bob's widow, who has not only travelled from Belmont round the corner this evening, but was actually attending a family wedding in Northampton yesterday. A first of her grandchildren, I believe, to get married, if that's not right, wrong, Janet. But she was absolutely insistent that she came here tonight, mainly because she was never invited when Bob was alive, if we're absolutely honest about it. But Bob was among the group. I think Doug was there, Paul Hetherington was there was a few others, Tony. I don't know the full roll call, but I know they went to a local hostelry, I believe, about 41 years ago, it'd been, wasn't it, to set up this awards night. On the basis, I think, that basically if they set up an association, they could have a piss-up every month, and then could definitely have a piss-up every year. So they based the idea of a local player out of the year award around who would like the piss-up the best. Is that about right? And the list then evolved into what we have today, and it's fantastic, and I'm sure there are a lot of very proud people in the room that we've reached 40 years. And as I say, this award was very much about Bob. This was his night. He absolutely loved it. He regaled everybody with his tales, and he was the North East Football Writers' Dinner. And I made a promise to him, like a fool, that I would keep it going. But very, very proud that he was a friend of mine, and very, very proud to keep the dinner, and certainly this award, going in his honour.